Hello. Welcome, listeners, to the Business Inside and Out Show with your host, Dr. Stan Fine, the business doctor. Each week, Dr. Stan educates, entertains, and inspires business owners to achieve even higher levels of personal and professional success. Okay, audience, here is Dr. Stan.
All right. Welcome to the Business Inside and Out Show, and we're glad to have you back again. Here we are again, Thursday morning, 10 a.m., the last day of April in the world of coronavirus. Boy, has our society changed, hasn't it? We try with our radio show, the Business Inside and Out Show, to bring you new and good topics that help you, the listener, the business owner, the small business person, to get more success and more information. Many times we bring on experts because we want to share with you information that's going to help you. And we're really excited to have our residential cyber expert, Tony Zafiropoulos of Fixed Virus. Today, Tony is going to be talking about cybercrime and what's happening here in St. Louis. I'm going to read a statistic, and then I'm going to start asking Tony questions. But I thought I'd start the show with an article from the High Technology Crime Investigation Association. Listen to this. He said the trend of Internet fraud has drastically increased from the year 2005 to 2010. Also, there's been a marked rise of 40% in child pornography cases. The other less severe form of cybercrime are lesser numbers. I think they're all bad, personally. The highest ranking of cybercrimes goes to fraud of identity, credit card theft, and child pornography. There is a threat these crimes will rise even more severely if they're not dealt with immediately. Hence, a task force needs to be built so these issues can be dealt with in the most severe manner. It said the main reason why there's been such a rise in all these issues is the vulnerability of people and their naivete in dealing with this. It said child pornography is a crime as severe as crossed the border of 2 states and thus will be given top priority. Apart from all this, just as important is identity theft, identity threat, hacking of identities. It's becoming very risky when it comes to security of the nation along with the financial health. Hence, it's a task force job to ensure the appropriate plans are in action, the welfare of all residents of St. Louis. We got to find measures to deal with this. The reason why cybercrime is so popular is because it can be operated on a very vast scale that can be spread out to several countries and states. The main structures of the forces deal with cybercrime. One of the most smoothest types of crime is cybercrime, as it needs precision while executing it. Those who are cyber criminals are very intelligent and smart, and they work in the most inconspicuous manners. They also hide from time to time, so they are not able to get caught and dodge the forces. The reason why they can get away with the crimes they commit is that they hardly need much time to execute the time, and the Internet is such a vast expanse that it doesn't need much. Okay, Tony, welcome to the show today.
Hi, yes. Great to be back. I know we're all sheltering in place here. I just wanted to let you know this is what I normally do. I normally work from home, so for me it's business as usual.
It's business as usual? Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'm not in my pajamas, but I'm close, and I'm in that casual wear. But if you look on TV, everybody is doing remote. They're all doing remote.
Right. Yeah.
And probably more in the computers than we were before.
Well, welcome to the club, so it's fine.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? Well, I'm excited to have you back on, Tony. I'm a big proponent. Down the road on one of the future shows, Tony will be sharing a book he's working on. We won't put him on the spot today, but I'm so excited because he really knows the game. Let me start first with a question for you, and I have a definition I want to grab here. Hold on a second here, Tony. You brought up a topic, beer bug, and I'm going to have you answer that in a minute. Coronavirus, a disease originating in China, which shares the same name as this not comfortable Mexican beer. You catch the beer bug, so you have to isolate for 14 days. Well, that's a simplistic definition. But, Tony, what is happening during or beer bug? What's going on out there?
Well, as far as the cyber world goes, it is really more of the same, except there are a few differences. And that is that the attackers are going after what do the attackers want? They want to make more money. So how do you make more money? Who needs the computers more than anyone else right now?
Hospitals?
Think about that. Hospitals. So they're actually targeting the hospitals. So I wanted to give you a report from a February 11th article. Over the past 4 years, nearly 1,500 healthcare companies have been hit with ransomware attacks. And that's in February. So March and April, that has not slowed down. So I've got as many, we can talk for an hour about attacks. So basically what's happening is, we discussed this before, somehow the hacker gets into your systems by getting you to click. The number one attack is phishing. I know it's kind of our next angle here, but the number one attack is phishing. So when you click on something and you weren't sure of, 100% sure of, and that actually is the hacker trying to make you click on something, then somehow without getting into details, your machine now gets taken over by the hacker. Eventually, it doesn't happen right away. Eventually, the hacker places software on your computer, and then eventually, you can't use your computer anymore. And that's what's called ransomware, where now the only way for you to get your computer back is to give them money. They're ransoming the computer, so that way you can get your computer back. You have to give them $500, $1,000. So the reason they're targeting the hospitals is because a lot of times, let's say that happens to you. If somebody told you $500 or your computer is toast, you're like, well, for $500 I can buy a new computer. Sure, I'm going to lose my stuff on it, but I don't care. I'm not going to give you $500.
Right.
Especially if you ask like one of your friends, and they're like, hey, look what's going on. So eventually what's happening is a lot of people don't pay. But who has to run their computers? The hospitals and the medical people.
Right.
They don't have time to talk and to recover their computers, to talk to their IT people. They have to save people. And especially now, the worse it is, the more you need it, the more likely you will get attacked. It's an unfortunate side effect of our world today. So think about that. Whatever you are doing, if you are a company that absolutely needs computers to run your business, you better be prepared for ransomware.
I got a question, Tony.
Sure.
Okay, so all right, let's expand that, because you're very sophisticated and you really work great at breaking it down for people. I love that about you. But I want to ask you, I've had this happen a couple of times, and we panic and try to shut the computer down. Let me take you through a scenario, and you can maybe expand it. So I'm on my computer. Maybe I accidentally click something, whatever something is, information about something, and it says, your computer is locked, and in order to release it, you have to get this fixed. Click here to follow up. Well, you sucker punch it, and you click in, which means you're going deeper into the hole, I think, and they got you now. They got you by the death grip,
Well, it all depends on how sophisticated the hacker is.
Okay.
So obviously, if you are actually getting attacked and you got some kind of screen now that says you can't use your file, let's say you clicked on a Word document,
okay,
and instead of the Word document that you expected to see, let's say you're working on your resume. So you wanted to look at your resume, you wanted to change something on it, whatever you were working on. So you open the resume and it doesn't open. It opens into another screen that says, give me $500 or you will never see your resume again.
Wow.
So that's how it kind of works. So it all depends on how sophisticated these hackers actually are. So if you're lucky, if you roll the dice and you're lucky, and these hackers are not that sophisticated, they made a mistake or whatever happened, who knows. So you get one of your buddies to come in, or an IT specialist, they might be able to look at it and say, oh, okay, hey, you're lucky. We can save you. But that's, those are low percentage cases. There's a lot of bad stuff around. So you shouldn't be depending on that kind of luck.
No, it's like Las Vegas gambling,
Right.
Maybe I put another $50 in the slot machine and I'll break even. It's like Gamblers Anonymous, for gosh sakes,
Yeah, that's unfortunately what it is.
Yeah. Well, let's take it a step further. Let's just stay with that for a minute because it's so important. When you've been on the show several times, we've talked about cybercrime, cybersecurity. So let's say I get hacked and I can't get out of it. I'm stuck. What would happen if they call you? What would you do for them? Help me to take them through because
the number one thing you have to do, you have to review your backups. So hopefully you can restore from backup. Every business is different. It depends on how you're using your computers. Depends on if you're a single person shop, so you have one computer, it's your only computer, you hardly do a backup.
Right.
And maybe you have a few files on your Gmail account or something like that, because you email people stuff. So the only thing you can do is you can try to see if you have a ransomware that is not that hard to recover from. There are a few things you can do to try to see if you have one of those ransomwares. But if you don't have that, then you're going to have to rebuild your computer. So you have to, shut the computer off, reinstall the operating system, reinstall the files, and recover your data. So now what I do is, personally, every minimally, I do more backups than that, but at minimum, during Christmas and 4th of July, everyone else is taking it easy, doing whatever they do on Christmas and 4th of July. In the morning on Christmas and 4th of July, I go into my office, I shut everything down, and I back up my computer, a full backup.
How do you
I have
do that,
several
Tony?
computers. Well, there's
you
many
don't have to
different
tell
ways to do it.
But
what
you could take them through.
I like to actually back up the whole hard drive. Now,
Really?
you let's say you have 10 IT people that you're talking to. You might get 10 different answers on what's the best way to do it. So this is just one of the ways. Everyone is going to do it differently. So, this is just one way to do it. You might have another hard drive that you plug in. Let's say you have a USB hard drive you plugged into your computer. So now I'm going to back up the hard drive on my computer to the USB drive. So there's software that you run that gives you that capability.
Okay.
So now I have, for example, now if something happens to me now, it's April 30th, about to be May. So I've done at least one backup on 12/25/2019.
Okay.
So I might lose a few months, but if something, God forbid, happened, then I would still have whatever I had last Christmas. So which is good. I'm not completely done. So now I just have to recover what I did the last couple of months, which is not that big a deal. I mean, it's bad. I don't like that, but it's not like I'm going to go out of business now.
Right.
I'm just going to I just lost a few files.
Well, let me go.
The problem is, if you don't
deeper.
do this, if you don't do a full backup, then if you get ransomware or something else happens, like your hard drive fails or something like that, which is normal IT stuff, then you're done. You don't have any data. So you have to do something. You have to do some kind of backup.
Right. Well, I want to stay with that just for a second. Okay, I was working as a vice president of marketing for a AT&T repair company for a couple of years, and I noticed that on the computers they would attach a cable and it would have a separate box or hard drive or whatever it was. I didn't know. And they said, okay, while we're doing this, we're going to simultaneously download everything we've just done into this separate box that is bulletproof. Nobody can get into it. And so if your computer goes down, we can take this, put it on your computer, and reload all the programs.
Right.
Does that
That's what they're doing.
About right?
Yeah. Yes. Now, when you do backups on a regular basis like that, you do have to be careful with the ransomware possibility. And unfortunately, some hacker attack programs will destroy that drive too.
Can it?
Yeah, it can. So what you
wow.
So you have to do what's called. This is what I do. And after I do my backup, I disconnect it, and then I put it away. So I literally have a snapshot of my drive from Christmas.
Okay.
So when you do a live backup, an incremental backup, or however, there's many, like I said, many different backups. You can have 10 different things. Everyone's different. That's why you have to talk to a professional, and you have to figure out what is the correct thing for you, while keeping in mind that in case you get ransomware, you better also have an offline backup. So it's called as an offline backup, where it's not connected to your environment.
Okay, I have a question for you, Tony. I know we got other questions, but
sure, no, that's fine.
A lot of people don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what ransomware is, but it's according to the definition, it's called malware, cryptovirology, blah blah blah. It's some simple ransomware may lock the system in a way which is not difficult for a knowledgeable person to reverse, and then it said, the attack takes over. So if people want to deal with you, and I'm sure they do, and they would like help in guiding them, and I assume that's what you would do, how would they reach you? What's your contact info?
Through my email or my phone number.
Okay, why don't you give it to them if you don't mind?
My phone number is 314-504-3974. 314-504-3974. And you can go on my main website, thefixvirus.com. That's fix as in F-I-X, virus.com. So I work with the online viruses, not the beer bug viruses.
Okay. So what's the number one type of attack in the cyber world?
So the number 91% of all attacks start with phishing. That is as from
Explain
the
it to him, Tony.
So 91% is basically almost all of them. So phishing is where you get an email. The reason it's called phishing is because that attacker tries to do a fish on you. You're the fish. They're trying to hook you. So if they're trying to send you stuff in various different manners, in emails, and they're going to say, "Oh, hey, check this out. You need to check out your pharmacies. Your pharmacy has a special on today. Please click on here. We're going to save you from the beer bug." I don't know. There's many different ways that they're going to, and then they're also going like on a hyperdrive with this beer bug thing. There's tons of examples. Click here so you won't get infected. There's all kinds of different things. Are you worried about getting infected? Click here. Whatever. So that they're trying to get you to click on it. And once you click on it, there's a variety of things that happen that eventually something gets installed on your computer. And once that happens, you're on a slippery slope. It could happen where your computer will get ransomware. Maybe not right away. You might think, "Oh, I clicked on it."
Right.
"Oh, I was worried about." Tony said that my computer is going to be toast now. Well, I'm still using it. I'm good. Well, those guys are wily. They're wily coyotes.
Yeah,
they're going to let you use your computer for a while. They're going to check you out. They're going to go in your computer. What is on this computer? Who is this person? Let me see how I can take advantage of this situation. So if they notice right away, you're a hospital, boom, they're not going to even wait. They're going to install the ransomware and try to make some money. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no. It doesn't a hospital. Well, I got a question. So if you don't have anything of value, why would a hacker attack you?
Yeah, that's a good question. The thing is you have something of value. If you're on a computer, you have something of value. So the hacker there's a little cottage industry in the hacker world. So what happens is there's specialists that work on phishing that, because it takes effort and skill and it's like an art almost to become good at phishing. Well, the guy that's good at phishing is not good at ransomware because it takes a lot of effort and et cetera on that stuff too. So what happens is he connects and takes over computers as a fisher. So now he's got 1,000 computers. Well, your computer doesn't have anything of value, right?
Right.
Well, you're part of the army of his army. You are now part of the hacker some Russian attacker, some Chinese dude pulling the strings. He's got 1,000 computers at his fingertips. So now he can attack other computers. He can use your computer to do his bidding. So your computer has a value. If you're on the internet, you've got value. It may not be much. It might be like $1. But look at this. It's so easy to attack 1 million computers than it is to attack 5 computers. So if a computer is worth $1, it may not be worth much, but hey, I got 5,000 computers. Now I got $5,000. All of a sudden, your computer is worth something.
Yeah, and maybe the cyber criminal says, hey, here, for $49.95, you can fix this, And
right.
guess what? They just made $50,
Right. So what happens is they're constantly evaluating how to make more money. So if they're looking at it and saying, well, I've got 5,000 computers, sure, I could sell it to the ransomware guy for $5,000. That's something, but I heard Sergey over there in the next door to me, he's working on some new project. And he said he'll pay me $2 for a computer. So now I can make $10,000. And these guys, how much money do they normally make? They don't make, $10 an hour. They're lucky if they make $100 per month.
Right.
So if they make $1,000, $5,000, they're like rich. So they're like, become, these programmer specialists, attackers, are like kingpins. It's just weird how this whole industry has morphed. Ever since 2010, they're making more and more and more money. And it's 2020 now, 10 years later. So they're making a lot of money. They're making millions and millions of dollars. I don't even want to say all the billions of dollars. It's kind of meaningless to us because we don't see that. I can tell you it's $1 billion industry. It's kind of meaningless to us. Except for the fact that, think about it, how many computers are in the United States?
Gosh, I don't even know.
It's got to be. It's not one per person. It's 2, 3, 4, 5 per person. So remember all the servers.
Yeah.
So
each computer
has a value. So that's $1 billion industry, this cybersecurity stuff. What I am trying to tell you is, if you think your computer has no value, you're wrong. And what happens is your computer will lose, your computer will get slower and slower. As these hackers are using your computer, instead of you using it, they're going to use it. It's going to be part of their army. We call them zombie armies.
Zombie armies. Okay. Well, hold that thought, Tony. Hold that thought.
Sure.
Audience, we're going to go to a break, and I know when we come back, we're going to get back into the beer bug again. Yep, we're still there in the beer bug, and we're going to talk about, is cybersecurity an essential job? So, Mark, you want to take it away? We're going to go on a break, ladies and gentlemen. And right after these commercials, we're going to come back and keep talking with Tony here at Fix Virus. So, all right, everybody, hang on. We're going to be on air in just one moment. Welcome back. You are listening to the Business Inside and Out Show with Dr. Stan Fine, the Business Doctor. That's me. And we come to you every Thursday at 10 a.m. on KWRH 92.9 FM. And we have this beautiful one-hour show where we give you good topics to help you, your business, and as an individual to make that life a little bit easier. And today we have Tony Safrolopoulos. Tony is the CEO of Fix. Hey, Tony, Fix Virus. Hi, Tony. And let's get in with, we're talking about cybersecurity, the coronavirus, and how to protect you because things have gotten worse. So, Tony, what are 3 things that can protect you while you're using your computers and phones?
Okay, so you should figure out how to do passwords. So you have to do long passwords, or they're more important than complex passwords. So in other words, let's say don't do the uppercase, lowercase, numbers, special characters, because you'll forget those. You're better off taking 2 words, like keep calm coronavirus. That's 3 words. Sorry. Put them together, and that's your password. Because you'll remember that, and it's longer. The computer is harder for it to figure out. As a hacker, it's harder to figure out a longer password than it is a shorter password. It's just the way the hacker work. So 3 things. So password protection, long passwords, and try to figure out password managers. So everybody's a little different. Well, that's
what is
a program.
Password Manager?
So that's a program that sits on your phones, on your computer, on your tablets, that will store passwords. So unfortunately, you still need to know a password that is not stored anywhere. I don't know if you want to write it down somewhere. And you have to use passwords like they're as important to put in a safe. So think of it that way. That's how important they are. So you might have a password for the password manager to get into it. So you might want to write that one down, put it in a safe, and don't look at it until you forget it. And then you've got the password manager who manages all of your passwords. So there's problems with that, but you got to figure out passwords. So that's number 1. Number 2, you have to patch your computers. Because old vulnerabilities exist, which hackers will take advantage of.
So what does that mean, Tony?
So patching means you've got to upgrade your computer. You know how your computer says upgrade the operating system, upgrade the software? That's what that means.
Don't they, like when they went from Windows to 10, didn't they have an automatic upgrade that they said his year to upload? Is there something more than
Windows
that?
Windows 10 is a little bit. Yeah, that's what it is, but it's not that simple only. It's not just your operating system. It's your browser. It's your office software. Literally everything you use. Are you using an accounting program? Then it has to be upgraded. So everyone is different. So this is what I do for businesses. Is I help them. I double check to make sure that they have upgraded. So and then the final thing is teach yourself about phishing. Learn a little bit about it. Go on Google and write. Learn about phishing, and then you'll find some websites. And phishing is spelled Phish. So it's not like a regular fish. It's like a Phish. That's the phishing that I'm talking about.
Phishing with a PhD, right?
Right, the PH, right.
Yeah, okay.
An F with a PH. Uh-huh.
Okay. Well,
so
again,
passwords, patching, and phishing. If you can do those 3 things, you're on your way to protecting yourself.
Can you help them, or would you come in? Let's say you have a business with 5 or 10 phones and 4 or 5 computers. It's a small business. Would you go in there and look at it and say, okay, you need to do this on your passwords. You got to upgrade some stuff. Do you take them through, like, these are the things you need to do in order to get current and protected?
Yes. I mean, I can tell you what to do, but I won't actually help you physically on those computers. I'm the consultant to test, to review, I'm the auditor. I'm the computer auditor.
Okay.
I'm not so as an auditor, it's a conflict of interest for me to fix things and audit. That's a conflict of interest because then you'll tell me, hey, why are you telling me to fix this and then you're fixing it? Are you like making work for yourself? I'm like, no, that's not what I do. So you have to find someone else to actually fix it. But I will help you devise a strategy for the long term so you will never have problems with ransomware, hopefully. Or will at least reduce the chance to minimal chances. That's what I do.
I remember, Tony, one time we were talking, it was years ago, that you give people, say it's a flower shop or whatever it is, you let them put something on their computer screen that says, we've been computer certified or computer protected, or we subscribe to these standards. Do I remember that incorrectly? Are there some kind of...
No, you're right with that. I am trying to create a program to tell everyone that you are doing what is at least minimally required to keep up to date. And I have this Oversight Sentry approval that's on my Oversight Sentry blog site.
So they could be Oversight certified?
Yeah, well, it's just it's not really a certification. It's more like a seal of approval.
I like that a lot. So if somebody today wants to call you about that and get this seal of approval, get this audit, let's go tell them one more time because we're in the second half of the show.
My number is 314-504-3974. So if I can't pick up, just leave me a message, and I will get back to you as soon as I can.
I understand from time to time that I don't want to put you on the spot, that you'll give special offers to people. Is there some kind of thing I don't mean to put you on the spot, but...
Yeah, so for the whole month of April, I will... Oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
2 hours left.
Hey, welcome, Tony. You got less than 24 hours. Well, why not? Why not, Tony? Okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
So the whole month of April, I will give you a free hour. No, if you give me a call, the initial visit is very inexpensive, and we got to get to know each other. So I usually give a free hour anyway. So just give me a call if you have a question. We'll discuss your details. And, of course, these days, the best thing to do right now is to figure out, before getting together, there's nowhere to get together with until,
we could do a Zoom conference.
Yeah. Well, I have Skype. I have a camera, webcam, but so, everybody's different. So we'll get together. Just email me, contact me, phone, give me a call, and we'll discuss your situation.
Okay.
So,
what is it? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I wanted to go over that one more time, or I don't know if we did, but so what does a worm do? A worm replicates itself, and it still runs and does things. Maybe it's not as good, but in the computer world, a worm replicates itself and then attacks just as well as the original program. So what happens, remember when we talked about that the program, the attacker, placed a program on your computer, and then it started to put ransomware on your computer? Well, this is a worm, so this program is designed to attack other computers. So it inserts itself and then attacks another computer. So let's say your computer wasn't patched. It was not upgraded. Let's say it wasn't upgraded for 2 years on some program. Well, this worm attacks all systems that are not upgraded. So it will create a little program on your computer and then start attacking other computers to attack other computers. So you can see this. So now the hacker, doesn't even have to do very much. They just send out the first fish. Once it's in, it will now attack thousands of other computers by itself. That is unfortunately a worm. So these hackers are very, very sophisticated. Remember, they've got 10 years of money and resources. They've gotten these, kingpin hacker people. They're sophisticated. If you're not sophisticated in your defense, you will get attacked. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Well, I was thinking, it's kind of like the coronavirus of computers,
Right.
When you're in a room, you get exposed to and you can have that one for free. So, if you're a business today, and Tony's talking...
That's why I'm Fix Virus.
Yes, sir. you give them their own mask, Absolutely. I was thinking that you can go in there and, because if they're doing business and their computer has a worm in it, they can affect other customers they have. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's very dependent on what happens, but if the worm attacks other computers, your computer is now being used to attack others. So that's one. Two, once they control those 1,000 computers, they can then sell that control to other hackers, and then once it's a certain point, you will get attacked and get the ransomware. That's why I'm saying that you may be running around clicking on stuff, and it looks like nothing's happening, but there is something happening in the background.
Oh, absolutely. The other thing I wanted to talk about was what the heck is going on with the congressional bills and the federal government with all this cybersecurity funds. Trump was screaming the Russians are invading our voting system. And what's going on up there?
It's interesting what's happening. It's just like what we talked about with the psychology of security.
Right.
They actually, they just spent another $1 trillion with all these funds for businesses, for hospitals, which are all needed. I'm not complaining. But, that's a political discussion, and I want to discuss that. So what the problem is, though, they didn't spend any money on cybersecurity.
Really?
They did not focus at all. You can read through it. There's nothing in there for cybersecurity. Why is that? Because it's the last thing on the list. No one thinks of it. So
why not, though? Why not?
Because until your computer is hacked, you're like, well, nothing's going on. Why should I fix it? But you shouldn't be doing that. That's not a good method. So I have a website, OversightCentry.com. That's my blog site. It has a variety of things on there. So one of my recent blog posts this week, I found an FTC website that says keep calm and avoid coronavirus scams.
Oh, really?
Here are 5 things to avoid coronavirus scams. You can go to my website and get that information. So I'm just going to read them quickly here.
Yeah, we have about 4 minutes. Go ahead and do it now.
Okay. Ignore offers for vaccinations and home test kits. Yes. Somebody tells you, click on here to get a free vaccination. Do not click on that. Just ignore it. Hang up on robocalls. No matter what. If some automated call is calling you, just hang up. Watch out for phishing emails and text messages. Don't click on links in emails or texts you didn't expect. Now, it requires a little bit of self-discipline here, but remember, you've got to learn, you've got to teach yourself about phishing and texting and emails. Learn about phishing, and that's PHISH. Research before you donate. Don't let anyone rush you into making a donation. Get tips on donating wisely on the FTC.gov website. And then the last thing they have is, subscribe to them and they'll give you information. Go to the FTC.gov/coronavirus and they'll get you, and you can learn more about it. So it behooves you to spend a little bit of time on cybersecurity. And so my point is, I know we're all busy with stuff. Right now we're surviving, but it still behooves you to spend 5%, 10% of your time on cybersecurity. Imagine if every year we spent 10% of our budget in Congress on cybersecurity. That's a lot of money, and we would be protected eventually. But instead, we're doing it after the fact. After our stuff gets hacked, after hundreds and thousands of service members lose all of their identities, then we do stuff. We're like, oh yeah, we need to upgrade those computers. I forget what the last thing that happened. Somebody said, oh yeah, the election boards. They're like, hey, we have old computers. We need to upgrade those. Well, that takes money. If we never give money to them, they'll never be able to upgrade them. So they're barely doing it. It takes years to upgrade. We can't do that anymore. We need to focus 5-10% of our time and effort. And that's happened with us. And then we have to push our congressional people and say, don't forget about this. Because look what happened with 2016, and we were not prepared. The Russians were attacking us. The Chinese are attacking us. The North Koreans are attacking us. You don't even know it because nobody's paying attention.
Well, Tony, we're about at the end of our show. This is great stuff. I want to thank you today for being my guest again on the Business Inside and Out show. We look for Tony getting ready to start up that next show. So, Tony, thank you again. And we're going to break the music. And thank you, audience. Have a great week. Be sure to tune in next week when we have more great topics.